Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. We are live, just snapping and clapping to start the day. I don't know why. I'm excited to be live. We are Monday here, and we've got some stuff to talk about. Altcoin holders must watch out. A very critical level coming up for the crypto market overall, especially altcoins that we need to discuss. We've seen a lot of excitement around an altcoin season, maybe pumping up, getting there, seeing that happen. Everybody's been excited. We've been looking at Ethereum, and we're going to look at Ethereum again today because there's some levels that we've been talking about that are playing out beautifully and very scary. A potential double top end of the bull market. It's a discussion that some people are having. Ethereum must do this or else. That's in my title. And we're going to talk about the or else. Guys, I'm not telling you guys the bear market's coming, okay? But I am going to look at some historical data. I am bullish on crypto. I believe that Bitcoin easily one day should achieve $1 million price level. I think Ethereum even can be at $10,000 one day and maybe higher. You see a lot of institutions buying it like crazy. Now, I am not a financial advisor. I will not, cannot, should not, and won't. Oh, breaking news. Pause. Everybody, hold on just 1 minute. Thank you, Mrs. Crypto. Kip, we have a breakfast alert, a key breakfast alert just in. This is fantastic. That's a little egg thing, some sausages, and some pancakes. Anyway, like I was saying, we've got a lot to talk about in these markets. I've got a couple things to break down. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. Let's get after it, guys. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do real quick too is I'm going to go ahead and repost this out on my X account. And if you guys are watching on X, go ahead and give it a repost as well. We'll just get it out there. That way everybody knows that we are live. Okay. And I just reposted it right there. Now you see it. Now you don't. Now you do, actually. All right. Boom. Got it. There it is. That's me. I'm bald. I've got a live stream going. You should repost it. CryptoFace, interesting tweet here. Let's just look at it real quick. This is now fourth consecutive week we have had a crypto pump on the weekend to sell off on a Monday. Kind of interesting, huh? Just kind of interesting. There's a lot of different trends you can find. A lot of great folks to check out and listen to in these space. But you always got to listen to yourself. Do your own research, friends. Always, always, always. Now, Bitcoin is sitting at $118,000 today, doing pretty well, all things considered, right? We like that, okay? We like Bitcoin hanging out around 118. You know what we don't like, though? We don't like the historical pattern. Yeah, there, don't you know? Oh, yeah, I don't like that historical pattern there, don't you know? Don't know why I'm talking like that, but it just happened. Of this kind of double top, and I'm going to circle back to this. This is what I've been alluding to. I mean, this shape right here, this like one drop, pump, dump, pump, end. That shape is looking kind of similar to this, right? Where you kind of have this little like pump, dump, zip, zoop, zap. Now, the only difference is that like this little hiccup here is a little bit higher. It's a little stronger. And fundamentally, crypto is stronger than it's ever been before in terms of the bullish narrative. Bitcoin dominance was falling lately. People were getting excited about an altcoin rally, altcoin season. We had it. And then we got a weekly green candle for Bitcoin dominance, just basically bouncing off of these previously weekly candle highs from October 2024. Are we getting a full-on bounce here? The big thing for the day is this. Altcoin holders, watch out. Ethereum must do this or else. What must Ethereum do? Ethereum really, guys, needs to keep going up, okay? If you want an altcoin season to happen, you need Ethereum to keep going up, my friends, all right? I'm so tempted to eat this breakfast right now. I'm so tempted to eat this breakfast. It's delicious. It looks good. It's just going to be getting cold, and it makes me sad. It makes me real sad. It's hitting a little bit of resistance up here at 38, call it 3,900. Now, what we had, this is crazy, and we talked about this. We've been talking about this range. The weekly candle hit up there. This has been drawn. This weekly candle, this last one, this green one right here, this was lower. It was turning red, and it ended green, but the weekly green candle closed right there. Now we had this red candle that has wicked higher than it, got up to almost 4,000, got up to 39.38. Unbelievable what we have rejected down. We're getting a rejection here, maybe. Now, could we break through it? We could break through it. We need to break through it. Ethereum must break through it, or else it comes back down. And if that comes back down, Bitcoin dominance is going to go which way? That way, up. Bitcoin could fall as well, face rejection there. If we have Ethereum rejecting, I would assume that Bitcoin is rejecting. Ethereum would be rejecting. Our total market cap for crypto would probably find a retest, maybe around the, I don't know, 3 trillion if we're looking for a bounce. And I'd like to see a bounce. I think we fundamentally still have some bull market left. But if Ethereum comes down, you're going to see Bitcoin dominance shoot up. And if Bitcoin's falling, again, it's going to be falling less so than Ethereum. Ethereum's been stealing the show lately. A lot of altcoins have been rallying lately. That's kind of what we got going on, guys. Okay, so this is the way that I'm reading this right now. Crypto Keeper in the chat's like, just eat, Kip, just eat. I don't think anyone would care. I'm watching an inflower who chomps on potato chips. We can't chomp on potato chips. One small bite. We could put out a poll. Maybe we'll put out a poll. Should I eat? Should I? I can't. Oh, it's funny. That's funny. All right, let's get into some of the news. We did a little bit of the talk about, you got to watch out, altcoin holders. Ethereum must what? Get above $4,000 or else what? A rejection. And Bitcoin dominance climbed back up, and this was a fake altcoin season, okay? And I'm not saying definitively like this is. If Ethereum rejects, then we're going to have a hard time climbing for any other altcoin, So that's what I'm looking at. There's pancakes and sausage in a little egg bite. Looks good. It does look good, I gotta tell you. All right. What's our big gainers for the day? Not a lot. Optimism's up a little. Story, just coin, random coin. Never really looked into this one too much. There's so many cryptocurrencies. I don't know. Story. I did look at it once. It's just not, I don't know. Didn't catch my attention, but it's up 20% over the last 7 days. So there's a couple coins up, but a lot of coins are down. Okay. As well, but nothing's down like 20% today. Nothing's really up like 20% today. It's a very calm day in the crypto market. And it's like the calm before the storm. Okay. Because the storm is this trend line. This is the time of the storm. We do not know if we're going to get through this level. We do not know if Ethereum is going to be able to get through this level. We do not know that. Chrome and Empire says Ethereum will pass 4,000 when Fed cuts rates. Well, the Fed ain't cutting rates in the upcoming FOMC meeting, which, by the way, we'll be live streaming that. Turn on your notification bell, subscribe to the channel. We will live stream this FOMC meeting coming up on Wednesday for you guys because it's very important time for volatility. And if you guys want to trade the volatility in the crypto markets, check out the affiliates for Blowfin, for BitTNX in the description of this video. Sign up bonuses for you guys. There's free money sitting there when you do your deposits, and check it out. Do your research, guys, as always, but there's a lot of volatility, clearly. If we reject here, more chop, more volatility. I don't think the bull market's over, personally. And I do agree, Croman, in the way of if the Fed cuts rates, Ethereum could be bullish. I don't know if we need to see the Fed cut rates for Ethereum to break through 4K. But if the Fed did cut rates, then I'd certainly expect us to get above 4K, because historically those Fed rate cuts are a catalyst for some pump action in the crypto market. What else is going on? The S&P 500 just soaring and roaring, very strong lately. Very, very strong. We've got some other stocks that are popping off today. Stock market's doing pretty well because the US and the EU struck a 15% tariff deal. Now, yesterday, we discussed this. The US-China tariff negotiations. We had a 90-day extension for this tariff pause that China is having with the US. Some analysts, some expert insider analysts, I do quotes because I don't believe anybody these days, say, well, it's unlikely to yield anything. And I think that a lot of people are rooting against the president on this. That's just a feeling. I'm not. I want all presidents to succeed. I want good things for the country, but it seems like some people are like, well, there's no way it's going to work out. Well, he struck a deal with the EU. Maybe he can strike a deal with China. There's a tariff pause. That's bullish for the markets. That was bullish for Bitcoin overnight. Now, why is Bitcoin a little weaker today? Why is Ethereum rejecting that? I just think it's key levels of support and resistance. The resistance is what we're looking at right now. The Fed rate cuts are not happening. The meeting's coming up. I just think that's kind of getting priced in. Now, if the Fed uses language that's, hawkish, maybe that's the rejection officially, and we're not going through 4,000 yet. If he's dovish and he's bullish for the markets, talking about rate cuts, maybe that's the catalyst even that could drive us through 4,000. And maybe start moving towards some kind of altcoin season. If we really do believe that cuts are going to be coming at the next meeting in 2 months after this, that could maybe be good. We would like to see that, okay? It's a sausage. And I took a bite. So that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. Stocks are doing well. The president's trying to make deals. He's having some success. Why is the regular market pumping today? As I told you guys yesterday, I believed that the China-US tariff pause was going to be a bullish thing. And it was. Okay? So, what are we seeing right now? $1.9 billion floods into crypto. Crypto investment products hit $1.9 billion in weekly inflows, signaling a new wave of investor optimism in shifting macro conditions. This is a very interesting article to me because it shares a lot of bullish things that I want to talk about. But it also shares one thing that we all need to be very cautious of, okay? Ethereum ETFs have been very strong, one of its strongest weeks in history. Bitcoin saw some outflows, okay, as it was kind of stalling out at 118. But some analysts are talking about a potential market peak forming by mid-September. But I thought we're shifting macro bullish conditions. Let's talk a little bit about this, okay? The surge in institutional interest comes as Ethereum eyes, a $4,000 breakout. In the near term, in the past week, the second largest cryptocurrency has seen a 3% price gain, crypto trading at $38.80. So I'm not the only one looking at $4,000. Everybody's looking at a $4,000 Ethereum right now. Glassnode reports that Bitcoin's $117,000 price level is acting as a key demand zone. Anybody seeing Bitcoin dipping under 120 down to 115, people are buying it still, okay? There's a strong buyer interest absorbing each price dip. That's part of the reason we're holding strong right now. But this is the thing that you need to be aware of, and this is the bearish part that I'm sorry, but I'm going to report it to you. In 2021, it formed a camel-like double peak, with the second top arriving 6 months after the first, right before the bear market began. Interestingly, 2025 appears to be following the same pattern. If you can't see it very clearly here, let's look at it on the Bitcoin chart. From this peak to this peak was 217 days, okay? From this peak to this peak, it's been about 168 days. Now, let's go from the first little peak here. 210, okay? Versus what was this one again? 210. Well, that's kind of eerie. Actually, that's kind of eerie. So we're kind of right at this moment where it's really a make or break moment. They said the camel-like double top. There's the one hump, there's the two humps, okay? Think of it as the M&M logo or the McDonald's logo. There's the one hump, there's the two humps. But are we going to see this reject down? Some analysts believe that it's possible. If history repeats, the next market top could land around September 10th. According to analysts, however, some experts are cautioned since the MVRV is a lagging metric, Bitcoin's actual price peak may come slightly earlier, perhaps by late August. And honestly, with the information that we just looked at, this would say, 210 days to 210 days, maybe that's somewhere in this zone is the top. But think about this, guys. All the institutional demand. We're talking about the largest asset managers in the world accumulating this stuff like crazy. We haven't even had the U.S. government come out and say we're buying Bitcoin yet. But I think that could happen. And if the U.S. government actually comes out and says we're buying Bitcoin, other countries are going to start buying it. We've already seen people start to adopt the strategic reserves. It started with companies, then it went to the states, and then the nation as a whole is now doing it. So we're going to hold the Bitcoin we seize as a government. But are we going to buy more? We might. We just have to be ready for any of that news to come out. That could change this market again. Just because we saw a double peak in the last bull market does not mean that that's going to happen. Every single bull market has been different. See this ridiculous peak and then bear market, and then we pumped up and we dipped back down. That was crazy. That was an anomaly in this bull market. You see how this bull market just kind of went straight up with these little tiny dips on the way, and we just had this blow off top peak and then into a bit. Now here we are. We've kind of got this testing the highs, rejecting for a long period of time, breaking a new high, coming down, double top maybe, but maybe not, because it doesn't perfectly happen the same way every single time. Maybe we're going to break through this. Maybe we're going to break a lot higher. I would not be surprised if we did. We still haven't seen an altcoin season. I want Ethereum to break past $4,000. We're seeing a lot of institutional demand. We haven't even seen these altcoin ETFs come out yet that we've all been waiting for, like Solana XRP. The XRP lawsuit's not even over. How could the bull market be over? These are all questions that I think everybody's asking right now. But I wanted to talk through that story a little bit with you guys. Bitcoin grabs 115K liquidity as a whale. That's 23.7 million on 200K Bitcoin by year end. So we still have people talking about rather large prices for Bitcoin, 200,000. But this 115K level, there was some liquidity there for the grabbing. That's why we had some big liquidations over the last little recent bit. Liquidations happen in the crypto market all the time, my friends. And we have had some big ones lately. Billions, daily billions have been getting liquidated. We cooled down over the last few days. But when Bitcoin dipped down to 115K, a lot of people scooped up that dip. There are still bulls out there, okay? A lot of them. PayPal's officially enabled Bitcoin and crypto payments for U.S. merchants. Just more mainstream Bitcoin adoption coming into the forefront. We like to see that. But I'm not the only one worried about Ethereum. Crypto, big-time crypto influencer as well. Want to talk about this post. His thoughts on altcoin season to determine whether it'll happen. We should not look at Bitcoin dominance or any fancy altcoin indicators. That simple monthly Ethereum chart, I'm looking at the weekly. It's about the same. Shows that if and when altcoin season will happen. Basically what he's saying is you need to see Ethereum break through this level. It's the same level that I've been working at. What he's saying also is don't expect this alt season for too long. It's a short window of opportunity where it's possible to make profits again against Bitcoin. I'm still holding most in Bitcoin, but what I will shift to alts, I will take profits in Bitcoin rather often than not. There you go. Guy's a Bitcoin maxi, but he's rooting for altcoin season. Need to see it get through this level. I agree. This is what I agree on. I think that Bitcoin's stronger than it's ever been before against altcoins. I agree with that as well. Pepe in the chat says, Kip, I see a lot of XRP holders round tripping. There's going to be a lot of people that round trip, unfortunately, Pepe. That's just how crypto goes sometimes. And we encourage people not to, right? We want people to buy low, sell high, take profits, buy the bear market, stick around for the bull market, get out before the end happens. But inevitably, people will get got by greed. It's going to happen. And so people waiting for that $1,000 XRP price are going to be caught by surprise when it might only go to $10 if we're lucky. goes to $10, and that would be great. And that's very possible and all, but there's going to be some people that are around tripping these crypto markets. So tune in for the news, guys. I want to tell you guys this. Even when the bear market does come, and at some point it will come, okay, we're not going to stop our crypto content. In fact, we'll be trading a ton more in the bear market. A ton. There's going to be a ton of opportunities to do some trading in the bear market. And we'll be accumulating with those profits that we get from trading. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it at some point. But we gotta focus on the bullish times. I think we're still got some bull times left. The best time potentially. Nearly $1 billion worth of Ethereum shorts will be liquidated if Ethereum hits $4,000. Again, everybody's looking at $4,000 Ethereum, including the big traders. And there are people betting that Ethereum is not going to get through $4,000. Now, if those shorts are liquidated, we could be shooting to much higher prices very, very quickly. And if Ethereum does it, altcoins could do it too. If you want to take advantage of the volatility of these markets, guys, whether you're trading altcoins or Bitcoin or the biggest altcoin out there, Ethereum, you could trade on Blowfin, on BitTineX. Sign up using the link in the description down below, guys. These are affiliates that we have for you down there. These are some of the platforms that we use personally, me and Blacksea. It's one way to support the channel. You do get sign-up bonuses when you do sign up for these exchanges in the description of this video and some of the other things that we have in the description as well if you want to check them out. Continue to do your own research, my friends, as always. But note, I was talking about this. Hundreds of millions of dollars liquidated like last week. Over the weekend, the liquidations cooled off. Little weekend lack of volatility, I guess you could say. Kind of came up over the weekend, and we're kind of dumping into today. During this FOMC meeting, there's probably going to be some big time liquidations coming. That volatility is going to be wild again. You can trade around it. Trading around the FOMC is pretty tough. Quick in and out trades for me around those times. But another story I want to look at with you guys is Anthony Pompliano. This guy has been on CNBC talking about Bitcoin since 2016, believe it or not. And he's got a great point. And this is, I discussed this earlier. When America announces that they're buying Bitcoin and that Wall Street will capitulate, it's going to be a huge moment. Now, you could argue, well, Wall Street's already capitulated. They're buying Bitcoin. Well, not all of them. Most of them are. A lot of them are. But some people are still holding out on this. But again, if America starts buying Bitcoin as a country and all the companies get on board, it's just going to basically be some kind of gold rush. Some kind of gold rush, just like back when people were traveling to the West for the real gold rush. It's going to be crazy. And, the people that get to the gold first are going to get rewarded the most. And it's crazy. Eventually, Bitcoin's not going to be as volatile. Eventually, Bitcoin's going to come up and then kind of stagnate. There's bear markets, bull markets, but eventually it's going to kind of flatline out. And the moves, instead of being this big, they're just going to be, like that. Little. So, that's probably the future of Bitcoin if it does become some kind of global, reserve currency of the world. Ben Cowan put out a very interesting tweet that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The problem with the constant delaying of tariffs for the Fed is that it leaves open the future tailwind for inflation, thus making them less likely to cut rates. So, as we see, what he's alluding to is there was a tariff pause between China and U.S. And as long as that pause is out there, in the Fed's eyes, it's a risk. Because if that goes the wrong way, well, then maybe that is going to cause more inflation. And they're not trying to play with fire. And in this case, the fire is the tariffs that could cause more inflation. So, well, it's good news that the tariff pause is happening. It's very annoying, and you just want to see it resolved. That's what Benjamin Cowan's saying. And I agree with him. The odds right now of a Fed rate cut are almost impossible. We're not going to see a Fed rate cut during this July meeting that happens in 2 days from now. I'll be live streaming it. Turn on your notification bell. We'll be live streaming it here. 97% chance that not going to get a rate cut. Then you got July, August, September. Pretty good odds we're going to get a rate cut. But as we talked about earlier, some people are saying, well, bull market's going to be over by August or September. But what if the Fed rate cuts come? This is what leaves me bullish, because the Fed rate cuts can be a bullish catalyst for cryptocurrency. And this is making for kind of a perfect time to like fake out double top. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a double top, kind of. And then when the Fed rate cuts come along, oh, just kidding, we're going back up again, and then it's some kind of extended cycle. Maybe we do go into 2026. I wouldn't be surprised about it. But if these odds shift away and we don't get rate cuts by September or October or December, then I think we could fall into a bear market. It's possible, okay? If we don't get rate cuts before the end of the year, we could fall into a bear market easily. Some people are saying Bitcoin up year is 2026 and the 4-year cycle is dead. There's some real validity to this, okay? Because let's just say what plays out is like we don't get a rate cut in 2025 because Fed Chair Jerome Powell hates President Trump and Trump hates Powell and blah, blah, blah. That's not the reason, but it's a fun story anyway. Maybe Bitcoin's up year is 2026 because eventually we are going to get Fed rate cuts. The president will appoint a new Fed. That Fed will probably cut rates just because the president told him to, if he's going to get put into power by the president. And we're going to get rate cuts. We're due for rate cuts, arguably. Some people would argue that. Some people would say the Fed's doing a great job. Whatever you want to say. Rate cuts are coming in 2026 for sure at this point. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give financial advice. I guess I shouldn't say the word for sure, but it's looking that way. And if that happens, that could be a catalyst for coins to move up. Maybe the 4-year cycle is over. Maybe it is. But does that mean that we're going to have like a real full-fledged bull market in 2026? Not necessarily. Maybe because it missed the traditional 4-year cycle bull market. It's going to be some kind of bull market, but it's going to be, I don't know, weaker, or maybe it's going to be fantastic. I don't know. But I do know that over time, Bitcoin is going to continue to get more popular. And one day, Bitcoin will be at $1 million. And so if you're just buying Bitcoin sub 500K, you're looking at a 2x opportunity. Well, it's at 100K right now. So that's a 10x opportunity to $1 million. How about that? How about that? Pepe in the chat says, Kip, I don't think you guys understand. When we had rate cuts last cycle, we went into a bear market 3 months later. Well, yeah. I mean, and so what I'm saying is that maybe we get the rate cuts. That triggers the altcoin season. That's our blow off top. And then it's over. So it's going to trigger the altcoin season. It's going to trigger that blow off top. And then there's massive profit taking and then a bear market. I'm cool with the bear market. Okay. I believe it's going to happen at some point. But that is the way that I'm kind of thinking about this right now, Pepe. Okay, but the 4-year cycle, if we go into 2026, it has changed. It has changed. We are right now on time for the blow off top in October, November. That's where my belief is. Pepe, I'm with you. But if we go into 2026, it could just be a little bit like the 4-year cycle could be broken in that it's not exact. Now the time frame has changed, right? The scale of time has changed slightly, and then we can kind of get back on track to it. There's been a lot of different catalysts going on lately for a lot of different price moves in these markets. It's very interesting. Smash the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. I really enjoy doing this type of content, crypto content, of course. Leave me a comment. What's on your minds, folks? What's on your minds, people? Talk to me. I'm going to eat a pancake. Crypto Keeper says, just look at what happened during the dot-com bubble. I mean, there's always this bubble thing that happens, but they'll come back up over time. Some of them will die out. Some of those .com companies never came back. And that's just like crypto. There's 19 million cryptos out there. How's it going, John? Shout out to the chat, by the way. Shout out to John316. Shout out to Scott and Pepe. Shout out to my boy, Cleary's Beef. Blake in the chat. Blake says, I feel like between leverage and trading, people are starting to take profits. Then a bear market is always on the table. Bear markets are always on the table, folks. Nothing goes up forever. Golf and digital gold is on the mind. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Crypto Keeper. You shouting me out? No, I'm shouting you out. Oh, man. You know it's over when Bill Gates says he owns Bitcoin. Yeah. Jim Cramer goes all in on Bitcoin. Run. Pepe in the chat says, where do you see Pepe buying the dip? Pepe's probably going to dippy, slippy dip do down to that 4010 level. That's what I see. You follow me on Kick? Appreciate you, Blake. Thank you. AP in the chat says, I mostly invest in United States dollar coin and Kronos. You're investing in stable coins. I love it. You're saving cash, you mean? But yeah, I think we could easily see Pepe come back down to this level. Now, if Ethereum just decides to like break through 4K, maybe Pepe's finding a bounce right around here. If it decides to break through 4K. A good example is like, I was thinking maybe this would test back down to this level. Back here, because test, and I thought it would test down here, and then we had this red candle, and then it just boom skyrocketed. So that could happen, but I believe it would be logical to come back down to 401 potentially. Again, big level of resistance here for Bitcoin, big level for Ethereum of resistance. Bitcoin dominance had a weekly green candle, trying to find a second one. Will it? I don't know. How's it going? Positive in the chat. I love that name. Hey, yeah, all good. What's my exit strategy with profit taking? Look, there's already opportunities to have taken a lot of profit. And as you guys know, I've already paid off 2 cars in this bull market, which has been spectacular, and had some other successes as well. There's been many opportunities. If you're of the mindset that this bull market is over and this is a double top, well then whatever you have to take profits on, if you haven't done so, well, it's not a bad idea to shuffle some off the table. After all, things are doing great. XRP Army, you're at all-time highs. Not every coin's doing that right now. Crow has given us some opportunities. The last time we had a really good profit-taking opportunity was November 2024. That was the best time in the cycle to take some profits if you were buying at 7 cents. If you were buying at 7 cents and you're up here and we're at 14 cents, you have a 2x. It's not the 10 or 20x that we wanted. But again, if you want to protect yourself in case we dip back down before we continue up, shuffling something is not horrible. Now, I can't give you financial advice, guys. I'm not going to. I won't. I can't. Okay? But guaranteeing victory by taking profit when you're in the green is not really a bad thing. Okay? Sometimes it feels like it's a bad thing. Well, but if it 10x's from here, then I'm going to miss out on this much more. Get those thoughts out of your head. And pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Okay? I don't think that this bull market's over, but if it was, did you already take profit? Because if you haven't achieved victory at this stage in the game yet, that's difficult. I mean, that's difficult. Okay? I think we can go a lot higher. But profit-taking strategies is just buy low, sell high. You see Kronos at 8 cents. You bought it. And now it's at 14 cents. Maybe you shuffle some of that you bought to the side. Just some. Maybe half. I don't know. Right? It's almost a 2x. If you bought XRP when it was dipping down to 150, like we told you, it was going to break back down below $2. It did. And you bought at 150. Now it's at 316. There you go. You got another profit-taking opportunity. Maybe you want to wait till it's at $5. Hey, Everybody gets to make their own decisions. Okay. But always be profit taking, I think, when you have the opportunity to do so. Don't sell it all and get out of the market completely, but there's always opportunities to shuffle something to the side. Okay. Do your own research. Pave your own path. I'm not a financial advisor. I got to say these things. Okay. Scott in the chat says, I don't necessarily recommend my strategy when the bull market is slow days. I take some of my profits to stake and test my luck to stack up more coin. Okay. I don't know about that. I'm actually staying away from staking a lot. And oh my gosh. And you're talking about rolling the dice, Scosum. No, definitely don't recommend that. Definitely not into that as much. I think it's entertaining though. I'll tell you that, Scosum. And it is fun. Been there, done that. Positive in chat. Okay, awesome. Cheers. Appreciate your question. Yeah. Yeah. And to be clear, I think we could still see a lot higher prices. I mean, guys, if Ethereum really breaks through this level, it could be delicious. Could be very good gains. Un fulano, I don't know what that means. Hope it's not a bad word. In Italian says, Apple was founded in the 1970s. The first iPhone was released in 2007 after the dot-com crash. Food for thought. That's crazy, dude. So you're saying we're just getting started. Hashtag flashbacks. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, clear as beat. Hashtag flashbacks. For sure. For sure. Unreal. It's Mrs. Crypto Kib's birthday on Wednesday. So we're going to go golfing together, actually. Just me and her, a little date night. And then we're going to go to dinner. We're going to go to a nice dinner at, well, I'm not going to say where, but we're going to a nice dinner. Looking forward to that. I'll tell her you said so, Mr. Beefy. All right, guys. Do me a favor. Tap that like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We got to get those likes up, though, for sure. Got to get those likes up. For sure. Get those likes up. Scosm says my go-to date to make the girly happy is sushi. Well, we're going to go to this place where they've got this delicious beverage. I'm not much of a drinker, but we're going to have a little celebratory sip of something. And it's this drink that she really likes. So we're going to go get that. And we're going to do some like steaks and some really delicious appetizers at this really nice place. I love the sushi stuff. We love Asian food. Asian food on my birthdays. Always, pretty much. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. This is the Crypto Report. I'm Crypto Kib. Do me a favor, guys. Check out the links in the description down below. Some affiliates if you want to support the channel. Some sign-up bonuses there for you. Do your own research in this crypto space. As always, buckle up. This place is volatile. The crypto space is very volatile. There's a lot of really positive things happening, but news is happening every day, and we're going to report on it every day. We're going to do live streams. I got a live stream for the FOMC meeting coming up on Wednesday, so tune in for that. That's coming up. Looking forward to recording that one, or not recording that. We're doing that live with you guys. Doing it live, and we're going to have some fun. Have a great week, everybody. Happy Monday. Let's see Ethereum break 4K. If not, more accumulation, I guess, would be an opportunity. It's an opportunity for more accumulation. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. Is it a problem if you don't break through 4K? I want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. Smash like, subscribe. Until next time, guys. I'll see you next time. See you, Reggie. See you, Positive. See you, Clears. See you, Scossum. See y'all. Bye. Bye.